No mai haere mai. 3News can reveal the Ministry of Foreign Affairs asked the Israeli ambassador to come in today to hear in person New Zealand's alarm at Israel's targeting of UN peacekeepers. The Israeli Prime Minister has labelled UN peacekeepers human shields for Hezbollah and urged the UN chief to evacuate them. But Christopher Luxon has said the world is outraged and New Zealand has joined many other nations in telling Israel it was a violation of international law and completely unacceptable. Senior political correspondent Jenna Lynch reports.
Screaming sirens ringing out in northern Israel, the result of Hezbollah's swarms of drones targeting a military base. 4 Israeli soldiers were killed, 7 severely injured, dozens more wounded, some lifted out by a chopper. The drone attack rounding out an intense weekend of war. Israel ordered the evacuation of 21 Lebanese villages and then went further, ordering the evacuation of United Nations peacekeepers. The Israeli Prime Minister labelling them human shields for Hezbollah.
Mr. Secretary General, get the UNIFIL forces out of harm's way. It should be done right now, immediately.
And on Sunday, the UN says Israeli tanks forcibly entered their base in southern Lebanon.
It is totally, utterly unacceptable for Israel to be targeting UN, peacekeepers.
3News can reveal New Zealand's Foreign Ministry asked the Israeli ambassador in to hear in person our alarm today. He didn't want to stop for an interview on the way in.
Can I just ask you a couple of questions?
No, definitely no.
How does Israel
Have a good evening.
How does Israel justify targeting UN peacekeepers?
Israel does not target UN peacekeepers.
The Israeli military is arguing it was under fire from Hezbollah and sought refuge in the UN camp. But in a statement, the UN Secretary-General warned Israel, saying attacks against peacekeepers are in breach of international law and may constitute a war crime.
How far does Israel have to go before New Zealand starts applying sanctions?
Well, again, those are conversations we'll have into the future. But for right now, I think the whole world is outraged that Israel is targeting UN facilities.
Foreign Minister Winston Peters posted a statement saying Israel's actions undermine the United Nations' ability to carry out its mandate, which includes mediating conflicts and providing humanitarian support. As a UN member, Israel has signed up to international norms and obligations. We expect it to comply with them.
They are there on a peacekeeping mission to try and keep the peace on that border. And what we're seeing overnight and what we've seen actually over the last few days is unacceptable.
The New Zealand Defence Force told 3News it has 8 staff working for the United Nations Truce Supervisory Organisation, 2 of whom are working in Lebanon.
Have you received any assurances that they're safe? That
yes, I have in the course of last week. Not today, but I will follow that through.
The Defence Force says the 2 peacekeepers are both currently working in a well-protected UN facility.
Well, OK, Jenna, what is the point then of, in fact, calling in the Israeli ambassador?
Yeah, New Zealanders might be asking how much impact this can have from all the way over in New Zealand, calling an Israeli ambassador in for a talk. It is one of the tools that we have in the toolkit to tell Israel that we do not agree with what it is doing. There are certain levels of an ambassador being called in by our country's top diplomats. The most serious is a summons. The next step down is what's known as a call-in. That's what happened to the Russian ambassador when it looked certain that Russia was on the brink of invading Ukraine. Today's move falls just a step below that. It will still be seen as a slight by Israel, though a diplomatic telling off that is embarrassing. And I'm told that Israel is starting to get a little used to this. It is becoming a frequent visitor at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs.
Jenna Lynch there live from Parliament. Ngā mihi.